welcome back to Metal Gaming. It's 7 a.m. in the morning and we're gonna watch some quality CS. I've decided I'll record it. I might as well record it if I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, Virtus.Pro are gonna play HellRaisers this morning at Intel Extreme Masters Shanghai. So although I don't have high hopes for Virtus.Pro, I am a hopeless Virtus.Pro fan, so I hope they'll win. So let's see what's up. I'm gonna leave the volume. Pistols are up.
The poles see the step in the right direction, and Fates the stand-in quickly trades it out as the A bomb side is
Mihu, my friend.
for this attack. So Pasha, Morels the stand-in, and Neo the one are left in a very precarious position as Dead Fox deals with them quite easily, and this one should be done and dusted as 7 HP, and a dream is not enough to get a retake on this A bomb side against 3 angry HellRaisers.
Team similar to what we said with NRG, they're going to need
thanks.
to show form at this event. Both cases you could say as well for HellRaisers, but more importantly for Virtus.Pro. Finally, after 2 years on the ground, they start to separate and go on their own ways. Obviously, Taz the first to do so. Snacks now in Mouse Sports. Virtus.Pro, a far cry of their former selves, but time to see what they can do. Time to see if change is really for the good.
A very discombobulated squad now, isn't it? Things are definitely falling apart. They weren't already.
Forever, yeah.
The earthquake happened.
Yeah.
And this is the next wave. Look, if we can quickly, while we do have this force by coming in, there's not going to be too much action as the default spread and the standard style of Angel's Calling comes out to play. Just a couple notes for the viewers at home. The desk obviously rushed.
Obviously, the source is Twitch.
Go longer than expected.
I'm watching it on HLTV, just so that I don't get in trouble, you know. I think it's ESL's official page.
4, Matt. 4 wins out of 15 games. And Morels, if you're not familiar with him, plays in about the tier 4 best team in Poland. So we're talking the Prides, the Tomorrows, the unknowns, not your Agos, not your Kingwoods. He's definitely an unknown quantity for those who only watch tier 1 Counter-Strike. I think after the major there might be a big Polish shuffle going down.
That's true, unfortunately. I didn't know much about Morales before I joined, but it is what it is. It's hard to replace Snacks anyways. Who is this guy?
They run out through the smoke to try and deny the bomb plant. Second round in a row that despite losing the first kill, that's the man to pull it back.
Come on, PUBG.
Yeah, look, a shuffle's great. It happens so frequently. I like results at this point.
You're right.
I want to see where it goes. I think it's a good thing, but let's see where it goes.
There are some players up and coming definitely within that roster of Polish stars. You know, Snatchy's been making his mark recently for Ago.
That's the one thing.
There's a fork working outside in case you hear that. I'm gonna try and close the window.
Yeah, that's the thing. They've kind of been under the thumb of the old guard of Poland for some time now. And this is the chance where new mentality may cause.
You know how it is. Some people work in the morning, others watch Counter-Strike, and work in the afternoon.
Is it Fates? Or is
I say Feds.
Okay, well,
Feds.
Yeah, he's played for a plethora of different teams. He's Estonian. He's played for HellRaisers in the past. He's even been playing in UYA, which was a Chinese team. He was living here in the country we currently reside, playing for the squad.
Out of a million people, or just about, I think, for the population of Estonia, one of 3 high-level Counter-Strike players that we've seen in the scene, HS and Rops.
Yeah, well, they're on their way.
Yeah.
Get a good AWP, they might have a team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Need an in-game leader in there. That seems to be the problem with most.
There was an Estonian team that they were all on at one point in time. Unfortunately,
online bots.
I can't remember the name. It might be somewhere deep within the archives. But it was so early in the career of each of those players and Rops, and obviously it just hadn't developed. Likewise with Fets, so they didn't make a splash potentially as you would if you saw them on paper now. Speaking of, he'll put the bomb down. Angel
still early days. So what is this guy doing with the clock?
Did
he drop weapons to his mates?
Really being optimistic on the HellRaisers side with the bomb planted and a stack that was on the opposing side of the map. They should be just fine to pick up round 3.
Mr. Angel.
That money on Angel and Dead Fox could yield fruits in the next round.
Some people see a situation like this, see how VP are just holding on to a couple of pistols and going, why aren't they trying to get kills? Well, at the same time, if you don't die, they can't make money off of you as well. They're going to get the round, sure, they're going to get the bonus from the bomb blowing up, they're going to get all that fun stuff, but if they live, you're not getting 300 times 5. And if you have SMGs, which we can see there are none on the board, they can actually get more money. So in a situation for VP just to hold on to this, a little bit of utility, you know, armor there on Mihu, means he doesn't have to reinvest right now, and can have a little bit of a stronger buy while also not giving up free dollary dues.
That's a great analysis.
Now this round right here
by
is going to
the
give us an indication
Australian
caster.
I hope it's, yeah, it's him. I can't remember his name. I apologize for that. I know the other guy is Sarakist. He's always so stressed out when he casts, or at least that's the impression that I get.
Some issues, I believe. And this
just
is
lives the moment.
This is it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is what you're going to see on Cage as a default. Bondic,
so let's see first weapon round.
Forcing the CTs to use utility, making sure they can't push, missing a Molotov. That's unfortunate.
Oh, Morales.
Fox watching middle, Fet's watching the boost, Angel caretaking a main, and Issa over towards Squeaky Door. Now the point of this is just to wait out utility, to call out utility, to make sure no aggression comes in, give your in-game leader a chance to make a call. Normally mid-control is the first port.
Yeah, it's an interesting map in that it's similar to Mirage, given that it's very, you know, mid.
I remember watching Issa before he played for HellRaisers. He was always such a fishy player for me, but maybe that was just me, and he's good. Well, now he plays for HellRaisers, which is nice. He came in with Voxic. Where's Voxic? Some visa problems, maybe.
It's been a different, I think, approach.
Does it say?
On WP play. As of right now, with rifles, I don't mind the passive aggressiveness. Either that, or you're gonna be hyper aggressive. Holding where Pasha is.
I should have done my research.
And he makes it work,
but it's too early in the morning.
You can't play there in a default aggressively with a rifle, but catching them off, having committed to white box.
Good job, Pasha. Show him what the biceps are doing.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that smoke from Issa.
Oh,
Mihu
got saved there.
On the A bomb side as the last 3 players trickle out of A main with 15 seconds left on the clock. We'll grab one, but Mihu in front of the defense will do what he can, and now time.
Nice.
That's the issue, as Dead Fox has to plant now.
Come
if he wants
on.
a chance in this 1-on-3, is going to fake it, and that's going to be it, regardless of that kill.
Good job, boys.
Finishing it off in the first round on the board for Virtus.Pro.
Neo, the legend.
Got a bit dicey there for a minute, but able to keep it upright, I suppose. The ship. Port is worst.
Kids, if you're one of those people that say Neo should retire, you should do your research, because most of what you see today in Counter-Strike is owed to people like him, who are very dedicated and played the game a lot, and played it while there were no prize money in it. Like most of the pro players, there was no pro scene in 1.6. There were highly competitive games and teams, but very little teams had actual organizations and salaries. So most of them still had to work jobs and stuff like that, and Neo was one of them. So he helped pave the way for Cold Zero and other kids like that. So please, have some respect for your elder people. And he's a nice guy also, so don't be assholes.
Is Neo in the vent is going to swing when contact comes in, but directly above Pasha is the danger zone, right? That's a very difficult tool to take.
Second round.
Lucky that no one is peering over right now, but once again, the default spread coming out. Now we'll see the boost come in. Mid control, same as what we saw.
I actually think it's better that Voxic is not playing.
Neo is getting close now, and they want to go for a mid-round boost. This is where it gets dangerous.
He's a very talented player with his high sense.
But it looks like they
flicks.
Take the boost position.
Issa, let's see. Issa, oh, why are you jumping, Pasha?
Neo gets swung on, will get traded. Mihu from the white box will grab one of his own, and now we have a 2-on-3.
I really don't understand that re-peek from Mihu after he gets the first guy.
HellRaisers one ahead, and that puts a lot of pressure on Bialy, left alone in the bomb site with help quite a ways away.
He shouldn't have re-peeked.
Issa takes Bialy.
But then again, obviously they're pro players. I'm not saying I'm better, I'm just observing, and it's much easier to watch and talk than actually play and take right decisions. So keep that in mind when you hear me criticizing somebody.
It's a lot in front of Morals.
Yeah, too much, it appears.
Morals, you should go fishing, my friend.
Some people don't stay true to their morals.
Go fishing.
I'm still
Don't come playing with VP, my friend.
Mine died long ago. 4-1 for HellRaisers. Virtus.Pro unable to do much. One man, Morals couldn't even find an option for the retake, despite that he even went to the top of Highway. Good boost mid. Again, we talked about it. You either got to be super aggressive to get toward those kind of positions or the vents in middle, or very passive.
Nice shot from Mr.
I
Issa.
question what they were doing, as it looked like they were going to boost quickly, right? And then you'd just be jumping up and dying. But when they just stayed on the boost in transition and were going to wait for the T's to aggress before going, I was like, this is actually a great decision. The problem is there's a timer on that as well. And they opted to go a little bit too soon. Obviously, we can see everything.
Yeah, we have far more knowledge than they do. That's becoming more and more, but you're right. If you can get up there without being detected, and if there's no utility to
come
put
on,
right
Legend.
on top of the boost to deny it, which is rare from the T side anyway, you can do some
good job.
damage.
Good
Speaking
job.
of that, look at the
You
amount of
did your
damage
job, Neo.
An 8 in that position will take him down, given that he didn't have armor, only on the pistol. But he got a headshot on Angel, got a kill on Dead Fox, and Fietza's not doing very well either on 27 HP. Problem is now the utility comes into effect. You said it, we talked about it last game, in fact. B-site Mirage, very hard to retake. You can be locked out so easily by the T's if they have anything.
Isn't this the first game of the tournament?
I
think
as well is that even with that kill, they can't get the checker to get the gun.
Yeah, Gambit will play bot after this.
USP, you're not expecting to
Greyhound,
get the team,
Tyloo.
right? So they're just going to go for exits. Going to see if they can punish the economy at all. But this is where it does become a problem, right? If you win a round, then you lose a round, and you're on the CT side, that's that hard reset. And that's the one thing you want to avoid. You would love to start stringing rounds together, and if you can't, you need to hold on to guns. That's the two options you have, and in this case, they're not even going to get a chance to take much away as exiting together. HellRaisers being very, very fundamentally sound and dispatch of the CTs, not allowing them to grab any weapons. And let's bring up the scoreboard so we can see the cash situation. Next on the side of your screens too, but this way we can see it front and center. And it looks like they're going to fully invest, even though several players only had around just over that 3K mark, which, as you can see, means UMPs, FAMASs, lack of utility. Not everything you want to have
some beautiful things here from Neo.
A defaulting HellRaisers. The problem is, if you're doing a default like HellRaisers are, you need to keep yourself honest if you're Virtus.Pro. You still need to use your utility because at any point, Angel could call the mix-up. He could do a contact play, and if you don't use your utility, he's just going to walk out, they're going to trade, and you're going to lose. And that utility you invested in and didn't deploy is going to go to waste.
Oh, they made noise. Did they make noise or what?
Call that a read. I think that's a bit of a gamble. But take the chance, reap the rewards.
Or maybe it's just the good old aim lock.
Door,
Gotta love them German programmers, boys.
Look at the damage he did. 15 HP left to work with. That forces the hand of rotation. That is indeed a hand.
Look at Pasha.
He
He looks like a porn star in this picture with that expression on his face. Good job, my friend.
Immediately goes back, bringing it to the advantage of his team to mid to cover it off. Still, though, again, by him doing that, it leaves Bialy alone. So he has to make a decision to hold, manages to get it.
You make me want to play a matchmaking match.
For me. Bondic, Dead Fox, meanwhile, starting to take over toward the B site, and that's a good counterplay. If you're going to rotate back toward it, is Sport Bialy, get away from the
Morales should go fishing. Pasha, what are you doing?
Stoop to the fact that they wanted to get aggressive, and knowing the rotations were coming in, it's the opposite position accordingly. It's just Dead Fox left.
Come on, boys, help Pasha out.
To work with, but great angle to find Pasha. Down goes the op, the man who had 3 kills. Bialy, 15 HP, remember, so if he finds Neo first,
yes, good job.
Might have had a chance in it.
I was going to say
pick up the up for the boss.
That looked like something that he should have been out of.
Wow.
Real crack at the fact that that was a situation.
Wow.
Where, look,
that was nice. I didn't know about that. That's like the how do you say that? It's not a roller coaster. It's like the London Eye, but the one that's situated in Chernobyl in Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 1.
From SMGs.
That's the sound of my demo being done.
Every round, they're unable to drop. They're unable to keep the economy.
Cold Zero will be up soon.
You can see right now.
But let's watch this for now.
He doesn't have any utility to go with that, so still a lot of pressure on, and this is where that reset potential comes in. If the T's grab this round, if they're able to be successful here, you reset the CTs once again. You force their money back down into the bin, and you give yourself another 3 rounds. Really, in turn, that's kind of the way it goes. If you can get those CTs on those pistols with just USPs, nothing too exciting. Neo will be boosted into the vent once more. He is the swing man to help Mihu over towards the white box, but walking out here completely undetected. No utility. Did Mihu touch that on the jump?
Man, Mihu,
he has no idea
you're
that
in
it's
big
close.
trouble.
Deadbox is going to swing out, going to be killed.
Yeah.
The 4-on-5 is Neo from the vent. He's got to pop it if he wants to go for a frag. Sitting in wait is now Fets knowingly coming out with the AWP. Breaks the vent through the smoke, gets the kill. Neo falls, 3-on-5.
The timing on that was so unfortunate. I feel like that happens a lot to VP. When I watch their matches lately, when they always lose, like they have some unlucky stuff happening to them. But luck is just a part of preparation, so usually luck is with the strong ones. I think that's a mental problem with the team. That's a shame.
Who is the money man? Finds 2. Unfortunately, they've gone back to the A side.
Pasha hit some sweet shots. He needs a new team.
Impressive. It's much to be celebrated in that. He's got many fans. For the longest time, one of the, if not the most popular player around the world. But it's not enough for Virtus.Pro to get another round, so it'll go 6-2 for HellRaisers.
And there's no money.
Reset. Even with the saved AWP. Here's the thing: if you're Angel right now, you're calling the chase. You're calling the chase. You're saying, we got to kill him. Let's get him. You leave one guy with the bomb, which they have done. Left Fates over there, chilling in A main. But everybody else should be on the chase. And it doesn't matter if Angel runs out.
Fates is having a good impact on the game. The stand-in.
Boy, do they know? Do they know? He's positioned. Okay, well they don't know, but he's positioned like he did, and
now Angel's going to spray through. He's a little late. So Pasha's actually got a chance at this. Angel drops in. Pasha hears it. This could be an ace. In a round, he's already lost. I don't think Fets will go that far because he as well also has an 8. Oh,
good job, Pasha. Good job, Pasha.
Could you imagine?
That would have been insane. And
I would
almost
such a pity.
Man,
I would be so mad.
You get 4 kills in the round just to save the op, and that's how you die. Yeah, that would be obnoxious. So 4 kills, but okay, yes, but the impact isn't high, but economically it can benefit down the line. Yeah, it's giving his team a fighting chance.
The fact that he held onto the AWP would be enough reason for me to call a buy behind it, and
you get 4 guns down.
Exactly, and they have done economic damage.
Yep.
You can see, well, I can see that there's only 3,900.
When Pasha is sad, I am sad. He makes some quite emotional faces. He's quite an emotional player. I still remember his face when they got eliminated from the last major. It was quite a sad thing to see. I remember I made a video then. That's the only video I made on commenting on stuff.
Buy a house.
Poor Pasha.
Just make really wise investments.
Yeah, if you need people to handle your money, Matt and I are open to new business.
No, don't. I'll just take it, invest it into a race car that immediately consumes money faster than anything else in the world.
And I'll invest it in Ben and Jerry's from Deliveroo. So, but we're both making good decisions.
Fantastic decisions. My Freedom 35 plan is already dead.
Good job,
Mihu tries to go in aggressively with the pistol.
Takes one out.
Nick is immediately on the case with an AK, and we sit now for a side.
If they can find some good damage on the T's, then
library. Highway isn't gonna have much to work
they're
with.
gonna
down to cut him off
mess up the economy a little bit.
Optimistic at best. I was hoping
Morales has a good taste in skins. I also have
this point 3 matches with the team,
that P2000 skin.
Total on the scoreboard, he's given very little to work with so far.
Yeah, 3 on land.
3 on land.
I fed you a bad stat before.
No, that's
3 on land.
Come on! Yeah, good job. Good job, Legend.
And
I mean,
Pasha didn't have a chance to find an opening kill.
At this point, when you're a VP fan and you're watching one of their games, you have to find small victories in rounds, because usually they always lose. So
damage being done.
This is solid.
Let's be honest.
Solid stuff.
Situation. Pasha able to hold on to the AWP again. He needs to be careful. He doesn't want to get too close.
Come on, Pasha.
Oh.
Be careful, my friend.
That got dangerous. That got sketchy. They would have heard each other in that position, and everyone will hold on to their guns as small wall bangs are exchanged, and you get a lovely shot of Dead Fox looking content.
Yes, Mr. Dead Fox.
In the shuttle with
rocking that gangsta chain in the neck.
Who came over from Flipside days gone by.
I used to do that in high school.
Analyst for them.
That gangsta chain.
And Blah, who was sitting up
I had
front.
quite a nice one that I received from my father.
He fell asleep.
I would fall asleep listening to that story. There was really no point to it. It was pretty boring. But
Oh,
yes,
the good
he was
stuff.
just having a little nap.
So,
at the airport to the hotel.
by round, 2-7.
Now this is a very important round right
Oh,
here. Okay?
that
VP
fox,
have
that's a nice
managed to
spam.
get Pasha to hold on to that for 2 rounds. Needs to find a
Yes, yes. Pasha is good, playing some solid Counter-Strike, man.
Now they have something to work with. All they have to do is
He's
trade
pulling the
efficiently,
team after him.
so no one gets caught out of
I mean,
position
who else
as
is
well.
gonna do it? Like, there's not really
VP down to this highway.
anybody else that can do that.
Rewards. There's a one-way smoke you can throw that map, but it is a very obvious one. And through the door, damage exchange, kill will go
That's
down.
some solid
Now
stuff from
3-on-5.
Mr. PUBG himself.
Pressure applied to the B-bomb site once more.
You guys should check my 1.6 demos, which I have with Neo. I remember there's one demo with him on train. His movement is so amazing to watch. Like, I've been playing 1.6 Counter-Strike in general since 2000, so in 1.6 I had a decently good movement, but I was just mind blown when I saw how he was moving on the trains and jumping around and stuff like that. He was such an amazing player. But nowadays you can't even go under the trains on that map, so different times for different people, I guess. Just go and check that out. That's sick.
Do so, but
Yes, good job, Neo. Talking about the legend.
Take advantage of in future rounds for HellRaisers though, because he's being left alone a lot of the time. We've seen Neo get
Such a likable guy.
Back
Back in the 1.6 days, he wasn't such a likable. He looked like a hooligan. He was bald and stuff, no beard. He looked dangerous. You wouldn't want to meet him in an alley.
At least land time out of everybody in attendance of this match right here, right now.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say entire event, and I was like, careful.
Yeah, we
Can
got
you
some,
back that stat up?
We got, well, let me think. I think even the guys from Greyhound would have played more.
Well, Sydney.
Yeah.
And then they've had a number of Australian lands. I would say that's absolute. I would say teams like Firepower with a few stand-ins, maybe?
Yeah, Dobo and Cabal have played at a couple minors, I think, as well.
Good job, Pasha.
Still looking
Aye,
strong. Big
Bialy,
save
come on.
from the fence.
Nice dink.
Lag onto Bondic, which brings
Nice
Bialy out
job,
to play.
boys,
I'm gonna
nice
go back
job.
to the Bialy because I know
Good,
certain
clean
people
eco.
enjoy that.
Eco frags, those are the best.
I was told
So it's
it was
4-7.
and that
It's.
is how it is said, okay?
I won't get too excited.
Which
yeah,
maybe I should
yeah,
be more
no.
inclusive
But,
in general with race, so I'll go back to Bialy.
VP is
as we
fighting,
know
boys.
I wasn't going there.
I know you were thinking it.
No, my dad
Or
messaged me and
Pentagram.
said, did you
They
really
used to
go
be
for
called
a jog?
Pentagram. First time
Because
they
I put
arrived
my
on the
Instagram
scene.
that I went for a jog down by the river.
Yeah.
They had a
Yeah.
crazy player,
In the
Luke.
Shanghai Heat.
He was called Luke. He was the upper before Pasha joined the team. If you watch videos of him on LAN, obviously it was the 1.6 days. He would scream like crazy. Him and Taz were making a lot of good content back in the days. Too bad there was no Twitch and YouTube and stuff like that back then. It's a pity because it was priceless to see them scream at the opposite team.
It's an anti-eco and
Yeah.
they're really just contesting rifles.
I remember even Taz playing against Mouse Sports when they had the German roster. They had quite a good German roster. Screaming at Capio all the time. I mean, all match long, all he was doing was screaming like crazy. You should check that out. I'm sure it's up on YouTube somewhere. Okay, let's just watch the match and I'll shut up. I'll stop sharing my old man memories.
Fire.
Those are rounds. You're going to expect that from us from the entirety of this week because there's not a lot to talk about when they have Glocks. All right, that's just the fact.
So this is the important round now.
I'm going to sugarcoat it for you.
This
Pretend like everything's a winnable round when it's not.
this
Alright,
is
now we got the AKs back.
quite the round.
VP mounting a bit of a comeback here. 5 rounds on the board for them now. 7 to HellRaisers, who once again opt for the default spread. Bondic mitigating B. Dead Fox.
That was
with a
close,
bit smoke.
Mr. Dead Fox.
Angel and Fates holding on to A main and Issa towards Squeaky Door. But what's
Very
more
close.
interesting is the complete and utter lean.
Pasha is pushing again. I mean, he did this already.
To help Neo
I'm
get
not a big
pushed,
fan
not
of
getting
doing the same thing
AWP over towards B. Does
because
need
it
more
becomes
information being
predictable, and
granted.
especially on the pro scene. Like,
Pasha
These guys are pros, they know what they're doing. They're thinking a lot. They have good brains for the game. Good game sense. So if you push them once, they'll be expecting you the next time.
Behind Pasha, which is meant to act, I guess, a trap for Bondic to think it's covered. It's not. And he's too smart. He's not picking. He's not doing anything. He's standing. He's waiting. He's being very patient here as these rounds can.
One smart Ukrainian player.
Pasha.
Oh, nice shot, man.
That could have been problematic if he missed that shot, but gets away with it and
that
will
was
fall back.
That was a hero or zero play right there.
Especially on Cash. And let the defense subside.
They were actually set up there for crisscross smokes in mid with the vent Molotov coming out from Isa.
So they're pushing game in.
Yali,
Mihu and Pasha is here.
3 players from VP
oh, that's a
in the bomb
sweet nade.
Forklift position.
Neo, look at Neo.
This is big for Neo though.
Yeah, it's huge.
Just locked out the possibility of rotation back the other direction. Morals had already done so. Dead
one is enough.
Has opened up that rite of passage back the other direction, but
gives a lot of information.
The
and the round is won by VP. Come on, boys. That's sweet.
It's true.
PUBG himself spamming that smoke.
Really
Spam that smoke, mister.
And by read a lot about it, I mean like one Wikipedia article and a YouTube video that coincided.
And then you went on the rabbit hole about flat Earth and
no,
how Finland's not real.
Look at Cuban.
Finland's not real.
Apparently, it's not real.
Looking all fit.
What is it?
I don't know. Apparently, Australia's not
with
real.
With that big
either.
chest of his.
What is it?
Like it just
he must go to the gym with Pasha.
All right, if I was taking if I was taking this pause right now, I would want to see HellRaisers do something that wasn't a default, purely because
so HellRaiser doesn't really have money now, but they have 2 AKs.
You've played this a million times.
That might ambition them into a buy.
The key attack is going to come in that they want to get mid control first. We're going aggressive. We're getting the kills in the extremities with the one player that's isolated. There's always, on a normal default, there's 2 players you can isolate. The squeaky door player, much more difficult. You need a very good flash. Or the B player, who he can just start playing more and more passive, which means you're going to take more and more time peeking corners and going for checks. But it is going to be a change. Here we go. Towards the B bomb site is 4.
So, is it a rush B bliet? Yes, it's rush B bliet.
Once again opens up. Oh! T's rush has been completely stifled over towards the B bomb site. Continuing to stand and deliver.
Pasha does his job, takes out 2.
Pasha biceps.
All that's expected from you.
Falls to the AK of Angel,
on the CT
but at
side.
this point the rotations come in there, completely surrounded, and Morals.
Good job,
the flank on
Morals.
second kill for him here. Finally,
Morals
should contain, but over
should expect that.
Now gives a chance in the round, as it will be a 2-on-3.
That's a nice aim lock, as I said.
Still in the hands of the HellRaisers.
I'm just kidding. He was just checking the corner, I guess.
To rotate as they wish.
But you know, Germany is very close to Hungary, so. You might have some good German friends, some good German programmers.
A minute to go, you've already lost 3 of your teammates. Sure, you found 2 in return, but when you're checking the back corner of long A, you really know you've got no map control. And you have to check every single corner that by default would be awarded to you out of spawn. It's
looks like it's going to be an A hit.
He has now made it toward the door, and Dead Fox has taken the initiative with the flashes and aggression to get toward highway. So they've got a real chance at actually getting a bomb plant down. More so if Dead Fox is able to find a kill.
That smoke works against him, I think.
Yeah, the only way it works is if he got the peak as it was blooming and he retreats into it, but now he's going to
like there's gonna be a retake play here.
See the 2 players working out, which means they're going to encroach closer toward each of both him and his teammate Bondic before they can respond. Bondic still doesn't see. Now Will realize, goes back over toward A main. Right call.
Oh, Mihu, come on, man.
But gets the shot back in return. Dead Fox has all the information to play with, clearing out the truck. He can play backwards and a good crossfire set, but needs to find Neo. As Dead Fox sits on 51, it's Neo on 67, but he has to get aggressive and doesn't have a hit. I think he's got one now. Okay, there's one in front of us.
Oh, there's time.
But that will confirm
That's actually a 1 round by VP.
That was the right call by Neo there. If he just went into the bomb site and played the tap the bomb and hope Dead Fox picked game, he was going to lose 100%. That's the experience there that Neo is showing, knowing he needs to take that duel. I think 7 rounds on the board for VP, who started very slow.
This is good, but the second shot was lucky.
They even have a chance to.
Yeah, that was lucky. I think he was aiming towards the guy that was ducking, and he hit the guy behind him.
6 coming in here. Is it really AKs across the board for HellRaisers?
So it's 7-7.
Woxic has been one of the standout stars for HellRaisers, along with Issa, since this roster has kind of bloomed and come into its own. And he's not here to apply that AWP, that crazy sensitivity, and be one of those funny figureheads, because him and Issa, they have a bit of a personality about them.
Personality in CSGO is something that's valued, no doubt, in terms of marketing. In terms of teams, I think along the lines, without success, you can certainly fall back on that to, I think, keep things moving forward within a 5-man squad.
Yeah, look at me.
That's an example, but that's less so what I was implying. Matter of opinion there, Chad. But I mean, obviously, Pasha's, I think, a large part of the reason Virtus.Pro, continued on and stayed the course. If the players weren't marketable and they were in the position they were in, that would have been dead long ago. Mihu, Issa, in that exact order.
Morales?
Finds the kill,
Morales should go fishing. Oh, he's dead. He's so dead.
Surrounded. He was a little bit, I think, worried, perhaps too much so, toward the vents, and gets caught out with his gun barrel showing behind the box.
That's some good damage done by Neo, but
directly in front. He'll
I
go
don't
down
know if it's going to be enough.
It is a 3 versus 3. The HP does favor Virtus.Pro, but the utility certainly does not. The good news is,
like, in the position that Morales was in, I don't think that you should play passive. You either stay and hold the angle and peek the B main player, or you just don't stand there. Because if you were standing in the corner like he did and you're surrounded, that's hopeless. You're dead. You're a dead man walking.
Ball back? Oh, that's nearly a line.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
That could have been 2. I have to see Pasha's again from a different angle because I was watching
nice
approach, but there it is. No utility to hold them off, and on round
good
15
job.
they get
Good
inside
job, boys.
Pasha.
8-7. Oh my god, what's going on? VP is
working in their favor.
It's actually being competitive.
They'll now get 6 rounds in a row. Pasha sits at the top of the leaderboard after the first half with 17 kills.
Fantastic work from VP to claw that one back. HellRaisers need to respond and get all that action after the break.
I apologize for that, it's still very early in the morning. These are some sexy highlights. So this was quite a good health from VP. I wasn't expecting this. I was hoping for it, but I wasn't expecting it. So, some commercials. Let's not watch the commercials. What? 3.5 minutes. You know what I can do in that time? I could upload my videos. I'm gonna upload the Cold Zero demo, which I've just made. And we're back, boys. Pistol round.
Happy to give it up as you see slow a pistol round with a bit of utility on board here. So let's take stock as we do see 2 smoke grenades.
Let's hear what the experts have to say.
And 2 flashbangs. I think their position at the moment leads me to believe this may be a late B lean. It is just that very slow default spread, making sure there's no aggression coming out from the CTs, no early information garnered, and they will now head back towards the A bomb site. Actually, Neo lining up a smoke. Pasha, I assume, will.
Oh, where does this smoke go?
Very shortly.
I'm guessing it's
the A for sure. Four players
somewhere around highway.
Will be coming through A main.
Let's see.
Through squeaky door. Smoke comes over the top. It is the quad
play,
no, which is where all the action.
It's actually the car. Down. Yeah.
Oh, he's been blocked on the Molotov. That's an absolute blunder there. Molotov has missed. It was meant to land at quad. It would have displaced Issa, who's now just got 2 big USB kills.
Freaking sick lineup by Issa.
He's licking his lips. Little does he know he would have been flushed out of position, but Biara responds. And now
that was sick.
Yeah, this can still be salvaged. That is a huge upsetting detail in
the
the
bomb.
round, and that it cost them dearly. Hard to say whether they would have hit the shot or not, but it
I
certainly
should have planted the bomb in that.
things easy for Issa. Bomb's going to be planted. 3 players versus 2 on the retake, and 2 means Neo as well on 12 HP. Found by Dead Fox, no bomb plant. They knew that they were outside of the smoke. Didn't get comfortable enough to put it down. 8-8, and HellRaisers have momentum.
Pasha's going to be filthy about that. He is about to throw the Molotov. He got bumped, bounces off the wall, lands an A main. Issa steps out, gets 2 kills, completely stomps the attack. And that's another pistol in the bag for HellRaisers, who now...
Yeah. Unluko maluko.
Position.
That's unlucky.
Force buy will come out once more for VP. We do have 3 Deagles and 2 CZs, which normally means a slower round.
Ah. That happens.
Do get a little
I feel
replay
like
of
it
that
shouldn't
Molotov
happen
there.
on a pro level, but it does.
In the exchange, Fates was able to find an opening kill.
I mean, as pro as VP are right now.
To Morel, so
Oh,
standing
boy.
onto Standard potentially. But mid control has been grabbed, and now Bondic and Angel are left to retake that side of the map. Stepping out with MP9, grabs 1 big kill. Bondic will trade, and Neo
Oh, that's good. That's good.
problem using that Deagle.
That's
Yeah,
not
a
good.
little bit overzealous as
that's-
Issa. Another 2 nice kills.
That's
from
some
him.
crisp
The
aiming
force
from
buy
Issa again,
dispatched of.
especially on the second frag. It was
Kylo
nice tap
in that
action.
situation.
Haven't heard that word in a while.
Yeah, there's another one that I want
Tap,
to throw in, but I don't know if anyone will get it.
Go for it.
Minutia?
Yeah, don't know it.
It's like the finer details.
I like it. Australia's not even real, so that word clearly isn't.
I don't think it's an Australian word.
Probably not. Neither way, it's one more round we have to wait for Virtus.Pro to get guns in their hands as they're unsuccessful. And shutting down HellRaisers on round 2 of the half. Angel's going to get very aggressive. MP9, you could argue with his teammates on armor, he could afford to give it up, but wants to farm for the cash instead. They've got nothing to protect the bullets from firing directly through the flesh. So Angel capitalizes on that. This is going to rob him, deprive him of a chance for more, but 3 kills on that weapon. He's got tons of money, honey. It's Pasha. Left in a 1 versus 5. Fair enough. Make it easy on the first, and even that doesn't work out as Bondic
Yep.
turns around.
I'm not blaming Pasha for that. That's a hard shot
We call this
with
one
the
the
Glock.
bonus round. We've got 2 SMGs in the hands of Angel and Bondic respectively. Dead Fox only has the
Bondic
CZ,
made some
so
good money.
it's likely he's going to upgrade to some form of a rifle, but the
Angel
more interesting
also.
point is how do they use... Oh, they're full upgrading. They're not holding on to them. Okay, that's interesting. In this kind of position, I would have said it's fine. I would have said there's no dramas. You could have done an aggressive play, but they want to get the rifles out. They've upgraded. They've got the M4s. They've got FAMASs. They've even got the AWP in play. Bondic will have the job of holding middle, which is one of the more difficult places. He'll be doing it with a rifle. This Molotov will tickle down a little bit of damage onto Pasha as now we have Virtus.Pro on the default train. I'm going to try and give a little bit more in depth on this. So the reason that this spread is so common is because a map like Cache allows a lot of aggressive CT plays, a lot of pop flashing into squeaky door,
Yes.
A main, going hyper aggressive over towards B, even boosting over middle. You want to make sure that that information and that map control is kept. You want to make sure that you're calling out the utility being used, and as we can see on the right hand side of your screen there, a lot of utility in the hands of HellRaisers. Still have 4 Molotovs in play. The only person that's really used any of theirs has been Bondic over towards middle, so at this point, now start smoking, now start Molotoving the choke points. You're able to chunk down a good 40 seconds of the clock, put a lot of pressure on HellRaisers, on Virtus.Pro, sorry, who have yet to grab any chunk of real estate. No mid control, 49 seconds left. They are able to peer, they are on the boost, they can see what's going on.
Quite a nice camera work
In this kind of scenario, it is going to have
from
to be
the
that
Shanghai team there.
1 second.
It's quite nice.
Out middle. Off the late play. And now the smokes and flashes will head over to A site. And this is where that utility left in the hands of HellRaisers is so deadly.
So highway open, but Angel with the swing back out for the forklift, and this is where you question timing. Astonishingly, he's able to do that swing and get back behind the forklift before any further pressure arrives from the doorway or from A main. It's just not there for
That was a good
Virtus.Pro.
round from
I'm
Angel.
very impressed
3
with
kills,
how
2
long
assists.
they held on to that amount of utility. I don't think I've seen a team hold on to that many smokes and Molotovs into a round. They didn't even get pressured anywhere across the map. Nobody felt like they needed to throw their nades. It was only Bondic in middle, and that's what we expect. You know, you always have to throw that mid smoke. You always have to throw that boost Molotov. He has held on to it for so long, and Now, VP left up a creek without a paddle, and it's not a fun one. As the Pistols are where they find themselves once more. Smoke and 2 flashbangs.
Run boost.
Yeah, it's a cheeky tactic, but the B hit is on, and should be easy to dispatch of as Dead Fox will go down. Off in the side, he's going to get swarmed.
That's good.
The plant should come in, but at this point, if I'm HellRaisers, I'm swinging together, I'm taking the fight, I'm stopping them before they can get to... Oh,
Okay.
It wasn't even the dunk, it was Angel going hyper-aggressive. He's feeling confident. The in-game leader leading by example. It's always one of my more favoured in-game leaders to watch because I like the way that he's got the fundamentals down very well. I think he leads from a respected position.
Well, and we know that Na'Vi tried to gather him at one point in time.
Imagine that.
They were desperate to get an in-game leader in at one point, remember? But yes, Angel, I think he's someone as well with age and wisdom, is someone who is a great mentor for younger players also. So
it sucks to be
have him
those
in the
guys,
system.
right? Like, you're constantly feeding
Yes,
the knowledge.
yeah, okay, get what you're, exactly. You're getting poached, you're almost a farm team, and you're the one that's responsible for a lot of the success down the road that in which you actually don't reap the benefits of. You don't receive it. You're watching the former prodigies that you once coached in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
But it's necessary. I think it's important for the fundamental growth of a specific scene to have someone like that, and I think that's why you see places like Denmark doing so well. Pasha, meanwhile, boosted behind the smoke. Angel is able to detect it. I'm not sure whether the gun barrel stuck out too far or if he just sensed that the boost is likely behind that smoke. It is quite common in the current meta, but either way, he gets away
we're
with the
back
kill,
to
and it's down
VP stuff now.
There's yet to be a round posted by Virtus.Pro in this half, and it seems that'll be the continued trend. I say it with Mihu getting Angel, but it's a 1 versus 4 even still.
Yeah, difficult position to be in right now if you are a Virtus.Pro fan. They went on a trot of 6 rounds to finish off that first half with a really nice comeback, but now they're about to drop 6 in a row of their own. HellRaisers are looking on point, looking very sharp and confident in the duels and fights that they're willing to take at this point. Morels, Matt, he's only got 2 kills, mate.
Yeah, it's not been the best of games for him. Me, who's making this very expensive. This is actually suddenly transpiring to be far more interesting than I ever would have imagined when this was a 1 versus 5. That's 3 one-on-one duels that Mihu's now won. Problem is with 16 seconds, he's still not into the site. Do they spot him from the truck? They're going to give him a plant.
No, I think
Molotov.
him being delayed has actually made them think that he's dropped back towards that B bomb site. Dead Fox has rotated all the way over.
That's
Oh
what I was
my
worried
God.
about.
Yeah, if that Molotov didn't come in, that was more than doable. They'd actually strung out to 2 1v1 positions once more. Like you said, very expensive.
Yeah, well, it's very hard to
The
judge how
plan came in,
to play when you
everybody
remain
would have
like
enough
that
money
1
to
on
buy.
2.
Pasha is only left on 3450, 3500 in the hands of Bialy. Mihu, Morels, and Neo can all buy. They have enough cash to get the AKs up. The bank is starting to swell for HellRaisers. Starting to slowly build.
Remember what I said about Pasha as well. We are now 6 rounds into the second half. He has 1 kill.
Yeah.
He's on 18. A large part of that is that they have not had the money to bring out the AWP or weapons in general, I should say. But you need to find ways and get creative, especially now that we've had 2 gun rounds already go by. They'll buy into this one, speaking of, and it's a little for Bialy, but this comes off the back of Mihu making it somewhat expensive.
Yeah.
So they have to capitalize.
Well, if we quickly rehash that, Mihu round is the most kills that VP have had in a single round in this half. So
and it's 3.
there's been 2 rounds which were just completely clean. Ecos, mind you, but clean nonetheless.
They all count when you're anytime you don't have to reinvest, especially CT side, building up a bank, huge.
Look at this. This is what we're talking about with the aggression on the CT side, right? He's already determined how passive VP are playing over towards B on their default. Sure, they've got mid control. This is a chess game. They take one piece, you take another. And Angel has a big piece right now. That's a lot of information. They can now cheat more members towards middle, more members towards A.
Desperate attempt to spray through the smoke towards Zeke and Hector.
Okay, this looks promising.
Does not amount to anything.
Let's see if...
That's, oh, goodness me, up close. The Estonian takes down Morals, who's continuing to struggle, not the
3 on
best
3,
to
but
showcase.
he is going to the B
This is
side.
an attempted
Oh, what
resume
is that
submission.
spray?
He's only got 2 kills, 11 behind that of his next closest teammate, who is Neo. Bomb planted for Virtus.Pro. This time they've gotten 2 kills. As you say, the last round with 3 is the most they've gotten in any in this half. What for Pasha? His timing could be everything. He's making a lot of noise and getting behind them, which could be heard, but it's not as of yet. They will spot. Bondic responds, but it's still one further kill, lessening the chances of a retake more so. 21 and 22 HP. Come on, Fietz and Bondic. Good luck. Bialy's on 99, and the Great One had the same number and was equally successful.
Yeah, maybe just a save call could have come out from HellRaisers. You have such a lead. You had done a lot of damage with the economy. Maybe they wanted to get a few more kills to really kind of bankrupt them and put them in a bad position without necessarily grabbing that round. But the M4 from range, able to dispatch quite easily of those 2 wounded players. At this point, it becomes very important for VP to string another round together. It will be a Virtus.Pro timeout, it appears. They have 1 left. They know the importance of this round, I think. That would explain the timeout. They really need to talk through their plan of attack because that did get messy. Felt like they had the right play early, able to put a lot of pressure on that bomb site. Dota 2 fan, old mate Fades. Maybe he just likes the pad. Alright, getting back into it now. The buy will come in once more for HellRaisers. Plenty of money.
So important round coming up.
AWP will come out.
I lost my words in the second half, no wonder.
But they didn't
Bondic
on those
and that Fox on mid.
Now the exchange of utility over mid and the late take. Dead Fox steps on out, traded back and forth as ETs will grab the early lead as far as the number advantage is concerned.
Yeah, as far as the number advantage is concerned, they've got mid to work with, however. So HellRaisers definitely can surround and control that passively.
Unlucky, my friend, unlucky. And bad aim.
Now it's just 2 remaining for Morals and Neo, and Morals needs to get rolling. Finally, will get a kill on the board. Only his 3rd. He's working alongside Neo now to try and take middle. 1 high, 1 low to peek toward quad. Straight through? I think that has to be the call.
Yeah, have to be a little
Fair
bit
enough.
tricky.
Head spot Neo.
Yeah, he's got the old man eyes, Matt. I suffer from the same thing.
I think the helmet was just behind the ladder.
3
and
kills,
Morales
Morales
that a little harder
has
for us
3
to see,
kills.
but even still, you'd expect the astute focus to catch the detail.
This is interesting with the player in the B-bomb side, though.
Well,
before it got interesting, it's over.
Yeah.
Bombs drop, 3 kills over here. He's probably just going to... Oh, that's his 4th, and that's a big kill because he has a smoke to work with here.
This would be a clutch. This would be huge. This could almost forgive some of the unfortunate isolation he had on B in the first half, because now if he can do this, he can break down the economy. There's still a force buy available, but only just. And he's going to try and use the smoke to his advantage. Clever thinking, but it leaves him exposed, and the timing is off. Issa's able to catch him, and it is HellRaisers finding 14.
Yeah, I like the idea. He knew he had to make a play in that scenario, but...
Well, looks like this is it.
The plant is
For
really crucial
my
here,
VP
because
friends
otherwise we
here.
would have been seeing... It is a hard reset regardless, but the plant obviously gives them a little bit extra cash to work with. Not a lot, but enough that they might be able to get... They can definitely get 2 AKs. Pasha and Morels can grab an AK each. Obviously not a lot of utility to go behind that, but the rest of the players, Bialy, Mihu and Neo, can grab some CZ75s, some armor, some smokes and flashes if they desire. Or take the eco, give the 15th round to HellRaisers, who are looking phenomenal on this CT half in complete control. Not breaking a sweat, even though it is probably about 33 degrees outside with 70% humidity. And
it's remarkable. I was walking around yesterday, and I think in the opening segment they made fun of me for eating and sweating. Maybe it was that me that they were. I didn't catch it. But
with the hot pot, we were all getting wrecked.
Oh, we were wrecked. That was.
Blair's
we didn't know what we were ordering.
No, Blair's banned from ordering food.
Yeah, and it was the spiciest shit I've ever eaten. I was dying. Had to get milk delivered to the table. Thank you, Trace, for that. But yesterday, same thing. I was walking around. I was dripping at some points. I looked like I'd bet on a jog, which you coincidentally have been. So there you go.
It's easy to pretend here. So they've opted for the... Have you guys dubbed this the tactical purchase with the AK?
Yeah, we've... Yes.
You're flirting with the idea?
Yeah, Henry's talked about this a lot, because a lot of times you give it to sort of someone like a Nico or a Simple, and you try and just let them go to work, knowing that the economy is reasonably low. If you can get 1 or 2 guns down, you can isolate you can create. It's a snowball effect, but you're relying on the AK to start it.
Sure, but Pasha's bought his own in this situation, and he wants to get it done all on his own. As he gets that opening kill, Bonic will drop. Another rifle will be...
Exactly, and that's the snowball, right? Now you've got a second rifle to go with it.
You just need to make sure they don't get caught in transition here, as Angel wants to punish them for this aggression. I don't think... You know, you would have been expecting a buy though, right? If you're HellRaisers, it's not that you're expecting a full eco by any means, especially at this point in the game. And once again, Pasha on a heat-seeking missile to find heads. It's crossed over to the right-hand side of A main. Smoke will start clearing. It looks like flashbang will come in, and Angel is going to push this with that position. Oh, may have just shown on the radar there. Flash comes in. Both players completely white in A main, and there's the kill. Angel can respond with more. This position is being hunted down.
This is the problem with it as well, though. Morals gets the shot back, but no utility. They can't do anything about that forklift position, which is very commonly sorted by a simple Molotov, perhaps even a smoke to force one side of the peak. Morals is still making a case. Guns are down toward the front side of a main, but they can't get toward them. Bialy's got to get closer to hold off toward the truck. He does. Deadfox down. It's one left, but Nade will deny the plants. Vince gets the AK. He's tagged the 13. Bialy hears the ding, but can't capitalize.
Yeah, I think
That's
he accidentally quick change back to the P250 instead of pulling out the M4 a little bit sooner. Would have been more than enough for that kill.
That was close from DT.
One round away for HellRaisers grabbing the victory
but
here.
Not enough.
Match for
Not enough.
two teams. There's only the second best of one of the day. We still have two more to come after this one. Tyloo, the hometown heroes, yet to play.
Good news is with a tactical purchase, you get the bomb. Unfortunately not planted. If you had it, you would have had a full bio for Pasha. I look at it now and realize he's on a CZ.
Yeah.
But you still have enough left over as a result of it, and you did do a reasonable job of breaking down the economy on the other side. The problem is it's unfortunately very late in the game, so uphill battle no matter how you look at it in terms of money.
Not only that, Morels has 1,000 left in the bank. He could have potentially dropped a CZ for Pasha, or maybe he could have UMP, not bought so many grenades. But it's happened now. Doesn't matter. At this point, they have to make do with the weaponry they have, which should be more than enough to mount a decent attack.
Gives you lemons.
Something about tequila?
That's, yep, exactly what I was thinking.
Drink responsibly, kids. Be nice to your mum and do your homework on time.
I agree. Drink responsibly, Chad. Never go on Twitch.
Well, do go on Twitch. Or YouTube.
Now Twitch. Dead Fox out from the vents. Forced out with a Molotov, but rather than retreating, he wants to get aggressive. This is
nice pun by Sadok is there.
Which is interesting as well because they do it in tandem and Angel's ready to go for the boost. He'll sit on the other side, not yet. Didn't see the jump. Bialy's not yet aware.
Oh, Bialy,
out and looking
my
beyond
friend.
where Bialy was positioned. Pasha gets one in return.
Fell asleep.
Angel falls off but manages to respond by finding Pasha. And
It's unlucky,
the trades go
but
in
it's...
favor of HellRaisers. So too perhaps the map as Mihu
It's hard.
managed to pull back Issa and immediately turns to catch
That
off
happens
the
to me
players inside.
sometimes
Maybe
also.
doesn't
I
have a
mean,
bomb.
I
This
think
is a
it happens to
relatively
everybody.
decent effort by him
Bloody
as he
hell.
finds bomb.
Where you sit in a place too much and then you fall asleep when your enemy peeks you, especially with the op. That sometimes happens. I play with the op a lot, so I try to move around a little or duck and sit up and stuff like that, but it's hard. But Bialy should have hit that shot, nevertheless.
Lobbed on the bomb. He forced the moths out of position. He's not just gonna have to do the defuse here. He's sticking it, but we'll go down. That's 4 on the round.
Okay, so there's an eco round next for HellRaisers. It's 15-10.
Surprised me. Surprised me.
I apologize
These
for
are the
that.
4 kills, the big ones. He's basically doing it alone. This is a solo mission.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. It's all him now on this second half. He's hit the 20 kills, one behind Pasha, who's starting to get something going for himself. But that's 2 rounds now that Misha's done. Michu has done the bulk of the work. Unfortunately, one was again that save in 1 versus 5, but it has broken down the economy.
I think if they find a
gives them the situation that they
solid
are
player
in,
instead of
in
Morels,
that there is
they
no
can
guns
still be
for
competitive.
HellRaisers, that may not matter what a deagle is
But
in his hands by Pasha.
That's gonna be
You
hard.
love to hate to see it. Or you hate to love to see it. Depends on which side of the fence you stand on.
I like to think that I'm the umpire.
Okay.
And I just swing both ways.
Okay.
As Issa backs away with the deagle.
So this should be
We'll take his turn instead.
a VP round.
67 won't be able to do much from Z connected. Money is as set. advantage, even though it's been now one round only against them. They'll be able to buy in the next for HellRaisers.
Yeah, they should still win this
Don't
round.
understand Angel's buy though. He bought a Deagle, even though he only had like $2,100.
Operative word should.
There's gonna be FAMASs for him next round. And that's for Dead Fox also.
No and.
I don't like it when people do that,
It's not 2 kills back behind
especially on
tries
matchmaking,
to get to the
where
site
they
and
have
do
like
so.
$1,900 and
Watch Bondic, who arrives from heaven.
they go ahead and buy a pistol or a P250,
Yeah, that was
especially as CTs, because then you have no utility and you have a FAMAS with armor. I have a friend that does this a lot, and then if we attack as terrorists, for example, and there's a Molotov there, he always screams like, "Oh, nobody's dropping any smokes." And then I tell him, well, maybe you should have not bought a pistol and you would have had a smoke now and you could have dropped it yourself. He gets all angry, but it's sweet. So kids, go on economy. Have utility, it's worth it.
And it is now 15 to 11. Virtus.Pro add one more to the total, but as mentioned, there's it's a little lighter than I thought it was going to be. 1,400. I didn't do the math correctly. I would have expected that there was a bit more available to HellRaisers, and as such, they're going to call a timeout.
They should definitely save here. There's really no reason to go for a force buy in this situation, right? You only need one more round.
Those are some
You've
crisp
got
shots.
3,300 on Angel, 3,300 on Dead Fox.
Issa looks a lot
Really
like
just
Cold
take
Zero
it
in
safe.
some of the
There's no
angles
point
in which
going
the
for
camera
a
shows
full
him.
buy or forcing into the situation. You're just doing yourself a disservice.
Just a
I think
taller
the smart
and
decision is
skinnier
maybe
Cold
get a couple
Zero.
of upgraded pistols and a flashbang and try and organize yourself in a position to get a couple of opening kills and pounce on some T's who are a little bit lazy.
Trace says that it's Dogma with Matt Damon is the one you're thinking.
No, it's not.
No, okay.
No, it's not. That's not the one I'm thinking of.
He's refuting that claim that it is not by you.
Well, that's fine, but that's not the movie I'm talking about. So, it's got the guy in it from... what is it?
Well, I don't care what it is, Chad, because we are facing potentially another round for Virtus.Pro, given that they've got 5 AK-47s.
Yeah. Well, if they lose this one, that's going to be a disappointing way to go out, right?
Oh,
There we go. That's 2 big kills for the boy. Let's get behind him.
I'm intrigued. He's up to 8. Still 7 behind that of Neo, but he's closed that gap ever so slightly. Neo's only found 1 kill in the last, I want to say 6, 7 maybe even. It's not been his game either. Pasha, meanwhile, having already worked up from Highway, will get behind the E-Box. Pretty straightforward affair for him to try and take over the truck. Pasha seems like the kind of man that would drive a truck. And it's behind him, pointing over toward B.
What a troll. Yeah, he does look actually. Give him a full cap and
But will in the end, Mihu actually.
Pasha is a truck driver, delivering
So
some
12 now,
good
Virtus.Pro
products from
guns
Poland.
for HellRaisers. This was after the timeout
Hello,
call
I
in the
have
last round,
2
which
pallets of
may
meat
have made things interesting
for you,
the approach
straight
Virtus.Pro,
from
thinking
Poland.
perhaps with a force buy on
Yes,
the
very
card.
good. Virtus.Pro quality.
The save brings out an AWP this round, which it does, but stay the course, boys.
Here's the question mark, right? When you have this match point, you could actually do something really aggressive. You could go for like a 3-man push on a bomb site. You could go for some crazy
Oh,
kind
Morales,
of
my
triple
friend.
boost or
I'm
something,
sure you're a
taking people
nice
out
guy.
mid, really taking a big risk
But
in
you
this
should go
situation, because even
fishing.
if you lose this one, you're still going to have one more gun round to work with. If you play standard and they take advantage of you the same way that they have been, and let's be honest, it was based off
Go
me
fishing, my
converting
friend.
4 huge
The
kills
fish
in a
are
round,
waiting
really
for
didn't
you.
have any say in.
Let
An
Virtus.Pro
individual
find
doing a lot of
somebody
work with.
better.
Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe there isn't much need to mix things up. Maybe just tighten your belt a little bit when you do get into those situations so you're not getting dictated to by one player. Default spread comes out once more, and once more they lean towards the A bomb site. You know, not even looking at what's going over towards B at all, and this is a chance. VP to grab mid control. Bondic is the only man there with Dead Fox close towards the vent. You can see here though, they're opting to fight middle this time as Issa and Angel trickle on over. They now have 4 players in close range proximity to take the duels as Pasha falls, and the 4-on-5 is now in favour of HellRaisers again.
Mihu is quite a solid player.
He's committed. He's swung over to the
If
mid
he can
hut.
find, if VP can find another similar
Some
player,
sides that allows him to
that would
retreat.
be
He's got to
cool.
get there toward Angel quickly as well, because the pressure is going to be applied onto the A main position with 30
They need a
seconds
heavy
left
hitter.
in the round. Good utility held. Fetz has a smoke.
One more heavy hitter and it would be quite a good chemistry.
To commit morals. Oh, caught out. That was almost predictable. Angel, good spray, good read. Smoke down to try and isolate Quad. And with the door open, gets sprayed through it. Fetz now knows that there's a very good chance they rotate back in his direction rather than going to A, having lost one wing of the approach. Miyu with one. Fetz ready in the AWP. Finds two, and that should be the end of the game.
Sweet shots,
Miyu
unfortunately.
has 7 seconds to find the kill on him and plant the bomb. We just barely got it in time. A 1 versus 2. They're going to pressure him immediately. They know the situation, and he can't get the gun drawn.
And that's about it.
Felt like a matter
Well,
of time there until HellRaisers closed that
that's
one
about
out.
it,
First
boys.
half,
Not much to
a
say.
little bit close with that VP comeback, that string of 6 in a row.
It was
HellRaisers looking very assertive.
quite a nice comeback from VP, but they lost it eventually. Some unfortunate, unlucky plays, especially pistol round also, where Pasha missed the Molotov. So just another day at the office for VP, I guess. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I wish everybody a lovely, lovely day, and I'll see you again next time. Until then, stay strong.